him. So I will read one verse just to invoke auspiciousness from Bhagavad Gita. It will be 2nd chapter, 11 verse. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Ashochana Vashocham Stvam Pragyavadam Chabhashase Gata Sunagata Sumscha Nanu Shochanti Pandita. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, while speaking learned words, you are mourning for what is not worthy of grief. Those who are wise lament neither for living nor for dead. So today's topic is Transcendental engineering, spiritual engineering. So we have the founder Acharya of engineering is Brahma. He's the first creator who created the world, this all universes. In Bhagavatam is explained how he was creating. And we're very, very fortunate because Lord Brahma has also, he's one of the Acharyas of Sampradaya, which we are belonging. It's Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya, starting from Brahma. So he's giving us a spiritual engineering, transcendental engineering. It means, like, what does engineers? Engineers creating some systems, some bridges, some engines. So Brahma is giving also spiritual engineering, which is bridge from material world to spiritual world. And this is very, very rare knowledge. It's most valuable knowledge, which is not achieved in anywhere. And it reminded me amazing verse from Srimad Bhagavatam, and I will see just in one moment. It starts Tasyaiva Heto. Just a second. Where it is? Prema Krishna. It's Tasyaiva Heto. To Prayateta Kovi. Okay, I found it. Tasyaiva heto prayateta kovido na labhyate yad brahmatam uparyada talabhyate dukavad anyata sukam kalena sarvatra gabiraram hasam. So he's giving persons who are actually intelligent and philosophically inclined should endeavor only for that purposeful end which is not obtainable even by wandering from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet, Patala. As far as happiness derived from the sense enjoyment is concerned, it can be obtained Hare Krishna. As far as happiness derived from sense enjoyment is concerned, it can obtain automatically in course of time, just as in course of time we obtain miseries, even though we do not desire them. So it tells that we can try to get happiness in, like, what is the main desire of people, of human? They want to be happy. They're looking for happiness. They're trying to study engineering. They're trying to study law. They're trying to study health and whatever it can be. They're trying to be happy. Every human being, whatever they're doing, they're looking for happiness. And this verse is telling, Lord, in this verse it's mentioned that the happiness is not available even from the topmost planet, Brahmaloka, down to the lowest planet, Patala. You can find some temporary, like illusory happiness, and still you can try so hard, but you will not get more than you would get according to your karma. And this is the secret. There's many people who are trying so hard, working so hard, trying to earn money. And I have many friends like that, but they're not able to become rich. And some friends I know, they're doing so little, but they're getting so much. And it is some transcendental birds. Okay, looks is better now. Okay, good. So all the secrets comes to the spiritual pathway of Brahma, what he gives, the spiritual science, and the most important part of this is chanting of holy names. In this Kali Yuga, it is said all the yagyas are not like there was different practices. In Satya Yuga, there was meditation for thousands of years. Yogis would meditate in the mountains, on kusha grass, on the deer skin, and in this way they would reach the perfection. The next yuga, they would do sacrifices, yagyas, huge golden yagyas. Like in these days, it's impossible to do such yagyas, like gold, and all the demigods would be invited, and brahmanas very perfectly pronounce the mantras, which is very difficult to do. And next age was deity worship. And in this age, all these, if you do any of these activities by its own, it wouldn't be successful, which in this age, the main practice of spiritual advancement, of the spiritual engineering, is Hare Krsna Mantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sounds very simple, but it's actually the key. It can be felt immediately. If seriously start chanting, it can be very easily. Once we was in Europe, we're having some parties, not devotees, but youth. What they do, youth in the West, they drink, they use drugs and loud music. So we went as a devotees to such a party in a forest. We set up a tent, and there was a sign, and please come and do some meditation with us. So we invite some persons, they sit down, we give japa malas to each of them. And in the beginning they're kind of skeptical, okay, like what is this, like, okay, some mantra, just maybe a hoax. But when we start chanting, and I used to observe the people, you chant and you start seeing how eyes are widening, like how their aura becomes, and immediately it's like somebody gets scared, like this is working, oh my goodness, what's happening? it's real. Somebody becomes very happy, like wow, this is so nice. This is what happened for me also. I was quite skeptical. First time I was, as Prabhu mentioned, I was 14 years old. I was walking with my mother, and she was not a devotee, she was like simple person, as ordinary Lithuanian Christian. But she found some information about mantra in internet, and she just wanted to tell me a story that she was telling me, this is Kali Yuga, this is age of hypocrisy, of degradation, of all the good qualities are going down, everybody is quarreling. And I was saying, yeah, I noticed it also. Like when I was, I remember, in a 4th grade in a school, then at the age of 14 I was, which is like some 7th grade or whatever, and I noticed how much degraded in these years children became. I said, yeah, that is true. Then she said, usually to go back to Godhead is very difficult. I said, oh really? But she said, if you chant God's name, then you can do it immediately. She said, while you're leaving this body, if you chant these holy names, you can go back to Godhead. And I was thinking, I didn't have any doubts. Usually we don't know what is the name of God. If you ask people in the West what is the name of God, they don't know. Some may say maybe Jesus Christ, but actually Jesus Christ is Son of God. If you study Bible, Jesus never says, I'm a God. He says, I'm a son of God. So my mother said the name of God is Krishna. And I didn't doubt. This is also very nice. If you don't doubt, it's much easier. So she said, And I said, my mother, but how I can remember such long mantra? It's so difficult, like so many words, like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare. I thought I definitely will forget it. It's not possible to remember such a long mantra. You're dying, how it's impossible. I said, okay, I'm gonna chant now this mantra to remember it in future. So I started chanting it. Maybe 2 hours I chanted. Then I thought, I'm praying these Christian prayers. I'm wasting my time. I better chant one time Hare Krishna a day and it will be good. I will be covered. So this was my first step in devotional pathway. And after some years, I was invited in one program. I was playing computer games as a youth, like a teenager. I didn't want to do anything about spiritual realization. My mother came to me and said, there's some teacher from America. He was a Prabhupada's disciple, but we didn't know what it is Prabhupada even. We didn't know. Although later I found out that we had Prabhupada's books in our home. So that was nice. And when my spiritual master came, he started singing Jai Radha Madhava. And I couldn't understand anything, zero. But I felt happiness in my heart. And then they opened the curtains of the deities, and there was Hare Krsna Mahamantra written. And I show my mother, look, this is the same mantra which you taught me. And then there was a class. My spiritual master explained, you're not this body, you're spirit, soul. We're sick. We have a disease, skin disease. And I was thinking, what is a skin disease? And one Brahmacari asked the question, what is skin disease? And Gurudev explained, and I said, wow, this is amazing. And what happened next? I came back to my home, and I was a meat eater. I had some meat on my table, and I wanted to take a bite of that. And that voice from my heart, the super soul or spiritual master, was telling, why are you eating this? I said, this is what I was doing all my life. And then he said, but can you imagine how much pain these creatures are getting from what you're doing? How much shops are in your city? How many packages of meat they sell? How many shops are in the country? And it penetrated my heart like, wow. I said, yeah, that is true. Then I went to my mother. I said, why are you buying this to me? That finished. And my mother accepted. So from that point I became vegetarian. And I dropped any sinful activities like the same way. And I decided I shouldn't waste my life. I should take it very seriously. I got Prabhupada's book. I started reading. I got Japa Mala. And before I was chanting just without Japa, just chanting inside. But then I started chanting, and even more powerful, I felt that Japa, chanting on the Japa beads is much more powerful. It's like, I feel now it's like building a bridge. Krishna consciousness it's simple, but at the same time it's quite difficult. But it's difficult not for us. It's not difficult. It's difficult. It's difficult if we are making it difficult. If we are making some obstacles to that bridge, but otherwise it's very simple and very blissful. One time some reporters, Jagadishwar is my god brother from Lithuania also, he's living also in a temple. For how many years living? 5 years in a temple already. Yeah. He finished book printing. He could work in a printing press, but he is living in a temple and distributing books already, what Prabhupada printed. And my point was, what was my point? What I finished? Sorry? Oh, about the bridge. We are building the bridge, and we can make it complicated, but if we just surrender to the process, it's very easy and very sublime. Yeah, I remember now. And once a reporter asked Srila Prabhupada, what you would do if this Hare Krishna is fake? Prabhupada said, even if it's fake, we're living such amazing life, we have such amazing food, we have such amazing music, such amazing friends and people. And this is actually what attracted me. Like, I know in material, in a school, it's like, it used to be like a jungle, I remember. You need to be better, you need to like fight for yourself, you need to make self you look better than you are. And fightings, all the fights happening, you need to make someone lower than you and make some jokes and something that you become stand out. And this is very difficult. But when I met devotees, they glorifying you like something different, and you glorify the devotees, and it's like loving feelings, loving relationships. There's such a beautiful speech they're using, very beautiful language. The qualities are amazing, and that bought my heart. So Prabhupada said, it's such amazing thing, Krishna consciousness, and we wouldn't lose anything. But if Krishna is existing, then what's about you? Prabhupada challenged the reporter. And it is actually, Krishna is. And when you practice in Krishna consciousness, Krishna gives many, many signs to you that actually is there. I have so many realizations that Krishna is present. Krishna is letting know that he is here with us, and he's guiding us, he's giving us situations, he's giving us guidance, he's from within as a super soul. He can say, okay, this is not good, don't do that, or do this is very good, would be for you. Like I remember some monks, when I was studying, some monks was telling me, please come with us for the preaching tour to Europe. They had a bus, and there was maybe 20 Brahmacharis, and they told, please join us. We're gonna go and travel, chanting holy names and everything. And I was a student. It's not so easy, just jump with monks and start traveling. But I wanted so much. And the day was when they started traveling, it was an exam for me. I had an exam. It was, it was, to translate in English I need also, I forgot, something database, related database. It was very difficult. Half a year you need to make a project, and some huge work to present and defend in the front of auditorium. And I wrote a letter to my professor. I said, dear professor, I really would like to come to your class, to your exam, but if I come, I'm gonna miss opportunity to travel with monks. At that point I understood that Krishna gave me a sign that he is present. So that professor wrote me back in 10 minutes. He said, I noticed that you're a very nice boy. If you need to reach anything in your life, you very easily will reach it. So he said, I'm writing you the biggest mark, what is possible, and you can travel. So I didn't need to go even to his class for the final exam. He wrote me mark 10. Just because I was inclined for the spiritual things. Yeah, that was nice. And there's hundreds and hundreds of such examples. So Krishna makes this path, this transcendental bridge, very easy. We just need go, like Srila Prabhupada said, just stay in the boat and it will take you across the material ocean. So this is the short version what I wanted to tell, because time is very small. Maybe somebody has any questions, any maybe challenges or whatever, I would like to answer. We have a few minutes. I'm welcome to any points, any questions.
Yes, Prabhu, I have a question. Why Satya Yuga did not continue forever? Why there are 4 yugas?
This is how Krishna created. There's some people who are not very much spiritually inclined, so they go to next yuga. And somebody stays there, they go to next yuga. And the most degraded people, we are here in Kali Yuga, they stay back in Kali Yuga. So this is extremely sinful age. It's practically 99% and more people are destined to go to hell, according to Bhagavatam. Because If you read Bhagavatam, study Bhagavatam, there's so many things. I don't know, maybe in India it's different, but in the West, we're doomed. I can say that. We're like, and but it is not so bad because holy name can very easily wipe out all the sins and liberate a person. So this is the greatest blessings what Srila Prabhupada gave, what Brahma gave, what Lord Chaitanya gave. And now it is not simple Kali Yuga, because Kali Yuga is very bad. But now it is a golden age period of 10,000 years when Lord Chaitanya comes and introduces the window of golden age. So we're getting this holy name, we're getting the spiritual activities, so many devotees all over the world. So it's not so bad. It's in one sense it's golden age also now. And after that, Satya Yuga again. And the Kali Yuga is the shortest one. It's just 432,000 years. And Satya Yuga is millions of years. Yeah. So it's not so bad. And Kali Yuga is the best of ages. Sages was discussing which age is the best for the spiritual practice. Kali Yuga is the best. Because in very short time, just it's even not less than 100 years, you can reach the perfection. Which other ages is like you need to 100,000 year or 10,000 year. This is less than 100, and you can go back to Godhead. And yeah, Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya made it very simple. Just chant Hare Krsna Mantra, follow a few principles, and these principles, in the beginning, from the material point of view, it can feel that okay, this is like a shackles, like what I should follow, like no meat eating, no intoxication. What this intoxication is the best of enjoyment. Like in the West, they say this is the best of alcohol, drugs. You feel so nice, parties, friends. But I can say very, very, very strongly, like it's my realization. I seen many people who was doing this. I was also traveling with the show people who were going to the biggest stages, singing, and then they go out from the stage and they're in full depression. What is happening? All this intoxication, all this gambling, meat eating and everything is like you have certain amount of destined enjoyment. And this is like a speed up of your enjoyment. You squeeze up the sponge of your happiness, squeeze the water out, and you can, taking alcohol, taking drugs or whatever, you squeeze very fast and huge amount of juice are dripping. You feel so nice one day, 1 week, okay, 1 month, 1 year, okay, maybe 3 years, and then depression starting coming. Juice is not dripping anymore, the sponge becomes dry. You need to squeeze harder and harder and harder, and lesser juice are coming. And this is very, very big problem in the world. Now the main disease of the world is depression, not something cancer or whatever. It's depression. People are getting depressed, they're starting using medicine. It's normal to take medicine nowadays to be happy. Like, because you cannot be happy, you start eating medicine. Because you don't know how to be happy. By taking all this artificial means, you kill yourself. Then later you don't want to live. I made one experiment, experiment. I went out with my camera to the street and started asking people, what is meaning of your life? What is purpose of your life? And I can say nobody said, like they was shocked. Like, why are you living, I asked. This is a difficult question, I don't know, maybe to raise my children. Another said maybe to plant a tree. And another one was smoking cigarettes, said it's too much difficult, I cannot say anything about that, why I'm living, I don't know. And another one just to have a little more health, I guess. One granny said to live kind of a little healthier life. So nobody could answer. This is a very sad situation. People are living and they don't know why they're living. It's a good question actually to ask. Everybody could ask inside why I'm living, what I'm doing. When you're just living, party, alcohol, friends, and this is that, it's so nice. But very shortly comes when you see you can lose your friends very easily. You lose your family very easily. You can lose your homes. Like now the war started in Ukraine. It was very, very elevated country, like very beautiful country, very, very nice country. And in 1 second it became all devastated by the bombs and everything. And people are shocked. Like, where is their life? What to do? What's happening? And it's actually, it's just, if you live material life, it's just, it's like Vedas are giving a comparison that human life is like a drop tottering on a lotus leaf, which can fall down very fast, the human life of form. So in any moment we can lose this human form. It's very difficult to obtain, like you need to go through more than 8 million, there's 8 million forms of lives. Maybe you need to go some of lives many times, and then you get human form of life. And then if you're living, like Veda says, Dvipada Pashu, this two-legged animal, then it's so sad to see that humans are wasting this human form of life. So we need to utilize it properly. Like if I take my phone and start cutting needles to the wood, and this is nice, can work, it's a good phone, I can cut. So this is, if you use this body for sense enjoyment, it's like taking my phone and hitting the needle. Like, good work, you can use it nicely, the phone. But actually this is meant for spiritual realization. You can use it also. You need to maintain the family, you need to pay the rent, you need to pay maybe the bills, and that's okay. But it shouldn't be only for this, it should be used for spiritual realization. This is very, very important. Otherwise, when it's too late, like we distribute books to door to door, very often some old person opens the door and say, my life is finished. That's finished, that's it. I cannot learn anything. Death is coming, and if you ask, okay, you're ready for death, they don't know what it is. They don't know what is waiting. They're so scared, they're so lonely. And if you approach young people, they say, go to old people. We are young, we need to do so much, go to old people. So this is like a dilemma. You go to old people, they say go to young people. You go to young people, they say go to old people. So we should use some intelligence here and utilize this human form of life properly. You have amazing facilities here. This temple is most amazing. You can get this bridge built very fast. The Transcendental engineering bridge can build very fast, and take advantage of this. Like we, in our country, people are scared to put tilak. Like, what are they going to tell about me? And here, with tilak, no problem. You can go to work, you can go to job. Yeah. So it's very, very nice facilities here. We are coming here also getting lots of inspiration. Such kirtans we couldn't imagine in our country, such kirtans as happening here. So please take advantage. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.